Hey everyone, in this video we are reviewing the latest Tier 10 Premium Mercenary Heavy Rogal Dorn. The tank was released today, or well yesterday when the video will be released. And this tank looks very similar to Lehman Russ, but not to confuse it with that tank. So let's go over its characteristics really quickly. This tank has two turrets. In the first turret, it has 700 alpha gun and a secondary weapon which has 4 shells, 240 damage with 182 penetration. And then the second turret can equip a dual barrel like STA-2 or the Russian tanks we saw. However, it only has 500 alpha and no secondary weapon if you're using the dual barrel turret. The secondary weapon or the dual barrel turret, the gun has only 300, approximately 300 pen, so less pen than the first turret or the bigger gun with 700 alpha. So the one with higher alpha has higher pen, and the one with the less alpha has less pen, slightly better, it's very slightly better aim time. And but the main difference is the dual barrel has 10 degrees gun depression and more elevation, whereas the single shot 700 alpha has 7 degrees gun depression. So which gun do I prefer? I prefer the first turret, the one with 700 alpha, just because of more APCR pen, as well as the secondary weapon is not something to be taken lightly, because it has very high pen and you can easily pen the lights as well as mediums and heavy tanks if they're exposing their side. And no one will dare to push you when you're playing with the first turret, as you can easily kill them. And you'll see it in this match as well. And I went to town. It is a super heavy, as you can see, 2800 HP. I went to Brawl. Unfortunately, their team was not here. Not the ideal start, because I don't want to push any forward, because if they're sniping at 1-2 line at J1 or J2 H2, I'll get farmed. But our light tank is being aggressive and is pushing forward. But at this point, I'm also worried that our team will lose the other side, as if they're not over on this side, they could be aggressive over on the other side. Since we're already down 2 tanks, their light is being very aggressive at A7. But I didn't make any rush play. I didn't move forward because I would have just died. There isn't anything special I could do there either. So I decided to just support my team from here, where I'm not spotted when they do end up spotting someone. And then I can go back if needed. However, I noticed we only have 2 TDs left over on the other side, and the medium is also rotating. Not the best thing I want to see in this scenario. I want them to hold so that they can do as much damage. But as I said, a lot of the time it happens when it's time to farm. This guy was a tier 8, but usually when it's time to farm, your team just runs away and give up the base. And that's what happened. Our team's capping, their team's capping. We are down by 4 tanks, and the game could not get any worse start than this. I'm going back to see if I can spot something or maybe get a shot or two. MBT gets spotted, not by me, and I get spotted by someone in the middle, probably light tank. I did get lucky, set MBT on fire, switched to my autocannon, did not pen him this time though. And 13 seconds down to cap from our team. I was hoping they will get a reset, or the opponent will. And hence I'm not really going back, because I was just wanted to do a couple shots of damage. We're now down by 5 tanks, and our cap has been reset. I do notice that their team is also pushing heavily on the back, so they might not have that many tanks that were pushed on the AB line. Probably is the fast tanks, and even one of the lights came back. So I was hopeful that I can do some damage now. Not to mention I got lucky and penned the Murat. The gun handling for the 700 alpha is very respectable. However, now I'm kind of in a crossfire. We kind of recovered a little bit, but now they have started focusing on me. I do bounce some shots, and as you can see, the gun handling is beautiful. I do have vents as well as gun stabilizer and all the other gun perks, but for this alpha, I do like the handling. And another lucky shot in CS53, taking him out of the game, and the score is 8-10, and for the first time, we don't have any pressure on our base. I decided to retreat, go back to do some more support damage. Waffle gets spotted, and as you saw, the secondary gun, I haven't been able to use it yet, but it is pretty strong. Waffle kind of got in the open as soon as he was unspotted. Common mistake that all of us make time to time, but we should not. At 4800 damage, scores looking even, 7 versus 8, only down by a tank. We have two tanks guarding the base. I'm not really worried because, as we saw earlier, they had a couple of tanks over on the 1-2 side. Or more than a couple, they had like a decent amount of tanks. Waffle killed our tier 8, and again he is spotted and is being overconfident. Put a big shot with my big gun, switch to autoloader, and he probably didn't even know I have a secondary gun, and I took him out of the game. Almost at 6,000 damage, score 5v7. Wasn't paying attention, I didn't realize it could be a good game, considering how it started. But it did turn out to be. Also my first 10k in this tank. I never got a 10k in Lehman, I got close 99, but in this tank I was in a lucky situation. Well, not lucky in the beginning, but I will get lucky towards the end, as you'll see. I do end up putting a shot into Charlemagne, and now it's 3v6. 60 TP was spotted, and since I was reloading, you can see I even managed to pen the side of 60 TP twice with this small gun. Again, kind of going back in cover, so I don't get shot from different angles. Term is over on the cap. I wanted to support him as well, but I kind of realized I might get circled. Saw there is an opening where I can back up. Light tech moving forward, put a shot into him. Again, this is the secondary gun. Switch to the primary and hit him for 700 plus damage. He's down to one shot. I only have one shell remaining. Wanted to pen this Vanguard, but missed. And at this point I'm like, oh, 8,000 damage, maybe there's a potential for 10k. And this one, Vanguard spotted our artillery and got a little bit overconfident, wanted to do some damage to artillery, and this was my window. Our Sturm took out the Waffle. Artillery tried to pen Vanguard but missed. However, he overstayed his welcome, and I managed to take him out of the game, putting my damage at 8,500. Their light is one shot. And now I was a little bit confused because I had a feeling that light might try to cap. At the same time, I wasn't sure if he's going back for the reset. I stayed here for a little bit, but it was a difficult decision. So I decided to be a good teammate and started moving towards our base, as that's where so that we don't get capped out, right? At this point, I can see there's a 10k potential, especially with artillery and 60 TP HP, and just doing the right thing. Another thing, Doom ended up blocking some damage, but I have been noticing I get penned more in this tank than in Lehman, and most of the TD, even like that side, is just penning me very reliably. The lower plate does seem 180. I mean, it is 180, but for some reason I am getting penned. I'm not sure why that is. So reliability, even though it's a super heavy, you have an extra 300 HP from Lehman, but a little weak. 60 was spotted, almost got unspotted, or barely got unspotted, and put a blind shot into him, bringing my total to 9,100. However, the light tank is capping, and this would be very, very sad if he ends up capping the base. Our artillery is the only other tank alive. I am going towards the base. I made a mistake here. I thought I'll start destroying the buildings, so maybe he will fire thinking that I'm loading. But that was a mistake, because I will not get a chance to reload the secondary weapon again. I only realized that once I fired my fourth shell. So I only had one shot to kill the light tank. However, light tank made a huge mistake here. Our artillery fired, but on the left side you'll notice he dropped a tree. Did he drop it already? Yeah, I did see when I was playing live. Yes, that's the tree on the left. He dropped the tree. Huge mistake. So I was getting an angle to shoot the light. He was only one shot from the last time we engaged him, so I know he didn't have any health. However, our artillery also saw that he dropped the tree and blind fired into the light. That's why if you're capping and there is an artillery, you should not drop the tree. I guess he was trying to be safe from me, but ended up costing his team. However, GG to our artillery. If he hadn't killed the light tank, I would not be able to hit the 5-digit magic number. So now going back to 60 TP, I ended up penning him once, but when he was spotted here, I accidentally switched to it. He didn't realize it, then switched to secondary gun. But also notice he's down to 42. Not sure if our artillery penned him, blind penned him, or he fell. but it's only down to 42. So me loading AT was not the worst thing to happen, as I can reliably take him out of the game. And then another mistake by their artillery, he fired and looked and disclosed his potential location around A1, A2, B1, B2. 5 minutes remaining, enough time, and all I need is that artillery to not commit suicide or not run away. Initially decided to go through the bridge, but I thought artillery might sneak through the A lane. So I decided to take the little bit right side so I'm not spotted, or I definitely get spot the artillery if he is leaving. Also our artillery is pushing the J line to make sure that their artillery is not over there. So I was hopeful that their artillery will stay at A1, A2, as he must be worried of getting spotted, and just hope that he doesn't cross the 1-2 line. So 9100, 9200 damage, 6 kills, and a dream to hit the 10k. As I said, I had multiple 99k, not multiple 9k, multiple 9ks, or even multiple 9.5s in Lehman, but not in this tank. So if you're playing the tank, this is the gun to use. That's what I would recommend. Not use the other one. This is the better gun. Whether you should buy it or not, I will be buying it. You will get 50% discount on this tank once the community op is up. So we get a community op. Once the players play enough, it will unlock a 50% discount. So currently available at approximately 23,000 gold. It will then be available at half the price, so 11.5k. Since it's a licensed tank, it might not be available, and I don't want to miss this chance. And 11.5k is not a bad price for tier 10 either. Obviously we get them for much cheaper if they're part of the season, but you don't get the licensed tank for that cheap, because the Lehman was, when it arrived, I had to buy it for 16k, but I did get some discount on the Nemesis at the time. So if you're a fan of Warhammer, or if you want to have as many tanks, even in general, I would recommend to get the tank, because I will be buying the tank. I will not recommend anyone to get a tank if I'm not planning to buy it. And as I said, it's already will be on 50%, so you don't have to pay the full price. Usually I say wait for the 50% discount, but that's not the case with this tank, because we will soon have the discount on the tank and you can get it. It looks similar to Lehman, plays a little bit different. So if you already have Lehman or don't have enough gold, maybe you want to opt out of it. As I said, right, that comes down to personal preference, but it was me. I will be buying the tank. I am buying the tank. So hit the 10.6k damage, 7 kills, ace tanker as well. And then I decided to play another game with the dual barrel. So anyone who enjoys dual barrel, for those, as you can see, no secondary weapon in for this turret. However, you do have the 2 guns. It is per lever, so good map for my tank. Just going in the middle, better than the highway, by the way, where I did get lucky. Going in the middle, but I was playing with other gun for the longest time, so forgot that it is a dual gun. So kind of made some mistakes, but still had a okay game, and we'll see why, or why I prefer the other gun to this gun. It's just the dual barrel mechanic, or the turret has less pen, and this is a super heavy, right? You'll be fighting head on with other super heavies, and I don't want to miss out on damage just because I didn't have enough pen. And again, there is no penalty when you switch the guns, or when you use the double barrels. So you can say you can have higher alpha with double barrel, but that's not something you can use regularly, because you get penalty once you fire both guns. Obviously there's no penalty to switch the guns, but it is when you fire both. I forgot that I had double barrel, right? So I shot once, my gun switched, but I switched to a secondary weapon, and then I was confused why it didn't fire. So Kari tried to run, put a shot into him. Didn't need to fire both barrels, but I do ended up hitting barrels. However, so I will definitely say this, that if you have whichever gun you decided to go with, just stick to it. Otherwise, if you're like me, you might get confused and end up where you're confused how to use the double barrel or the secondary weapon. Moving into the middle, the other two heavies are spotted. Also, our team is being very aggressive. They took the K line, they took the B line as well. Resilient is getting punished. Now he's retreating. Put a shot into him as well. Could have used both guns at this time. And as I said, I was just confused about how to use the dual barrel, frankly. But I decided to do this since I was doing a is it worth it replay. I decided to show both guns, so you can kind of decide it for yourself which one to go with. As you can see, this is what I was talking about, the armor. Not even sure where he penned, but I did get penned by Death Star's AP shell. Again, a little bit of questionable driving here, but the opponent missed the shot. So since our team was pretty aggressive, I decided to take an aggressive position as well and test out the armor. Yeah, was going and making a questionable or risky climb, ended up getting double tapped. I am getting penned from different angles or shot at different angles, and one of them did end up penning me. Our team is comfortably winning. So I just decided to kind of stay here, wait for their team to make mistakes like that YAG, and then capitalize on that. Didn't want to leave the high ground, as well as I'm the only one at this angle. Our team is left or right. So if I'm in the enemy team, right, I'll try to go for tanks where I try to go to the angle where you get shot from less tanks. Shot my fellow Rogal Dorn, and was again confused for a bit why I didn't hit for 700, but came to the realization soon. E100 is kind of just hiding there, not really peeking. That is the right play because he will get penned, like the Rogal Dorn who was retreating, or the YAG. So he's playing very cautiously, and as we were winning, I decided to be more aggressive. Tortoise gets spotted, managed to pen his side, and at the same time Borsig fired at me. Maybe he didn't realize I have a dual barrel, and then he didn't move quickly, giving me enough time to pen him. The house kind of makes it difficult to shoot the tortoise there. So struggling to get that enough pixels so I can pen him. And as I said, I wasn't confident that I'll pen every shot, even to tortoise, just because, as I said, the low penetration, and tortoise has a lot of raw armor. Switch to not the secondary gun. I just switched to the other gun to finish the chieftain. At 5400 damage, this one's obviously not a 10k, by the way. Missed my shot on YAG, and finally decided it is time to push forward and handle the E100. There is it looks risky, but you can kind of jump over here. Also, the middle that our team took, strong position where I was playing, their team gets the advantage to be there, but their team just abandoned that position. I have enough health to take a shot from E100, but he fired. Not that I was worried, YAG didn't have enough health, so I decided to focus on the E100. First shot, tracked him. He bounced. Another shot, another track. And then waiting for my third shell to reload, and safely penning the lower plate. The last remaining tank is Sheridan, but I don't have any shots on him. So if the dual barrel is up to your taste, maybe you can go with that, but again, I'll recommend using the higher alpha again with the secondary weapon, as well as buy the tank when it's on discount. Don't buy it right away. If you have bought it, you didn't know about the discount, and you have less than 5 battles, you can return the tank by filing a ticket to customer support and buy it back with the discount. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and let me know if you liked the Is It Worth It video. Have a great rest of your day.